learn. So once again, welcome to this liquid soap production workshop being facilitated by our one and only Alaja Mutiyat Ali. So Mutiyat, you are welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much.
So I would like to ask you some questions. Uh,
Okay.
okay, can you give us a brief introduction of yourself generally before I start asking the question?
Yeah, yeah. As we've all known, this is Mutiat Ali, seen some of the faces for a very long decade. So we thank God for life. So this is I'm Mutiat Ali. I'm the CEO of Multidupsy Trading Stock. So I'm into chemical business, and this chemical of the thing is involved around the maybe these soap chemicals, ISA, farm chemicals, and detergents, and so on like that. So, and I based in Ogun State, which is Ikeneremo, precisely Ikeneremo. So I think that is I think that is okay in order to save time.
Okay,
If
so
you have any
Mutiyat,
other thing.
so is it safe to say when Olamide was singing, wọ́n ti po chemical pọ̀ àwọn ọmọ science students? Maybe you are part of
Have you?
those you are singing about. So
Yes, so
Mutiyat,
yes.
she sells chemicals. She sells chemicals. So now I'd like to ask you some questions about this soap production of a thing. So
Okay.
what are the key ingredients in liquid soap production, and what role does each ingredient play?
Yeah, thank you very much. We have in liquid soap production, we have like let me say basically we have 11 materials in it, which I would like to list.
Sorry, Mutiat. I hope
First
we have
one,
a note. I hope we are jotting now. We are taking notes. We have 11 materials. This is a workshop. Oh. This is a workshop, so we'll be noting everything. All right. Ajia, you can write on.
so we have basically 11 materials. Which the first one is nitrosol, while the second one is soda ash, third one is caustic soda. The fourth one, I don't know if I'm too fast.
You are not too
First
fast.
one is nitrosol. The second one is soda ash. The third one is caustic soda. Fourth one is hexapon. While the fifth one is sulfuric acid. While the sixth one is sodium sulfate. The seventh one we call it STPP. While the eighth one is Lore or SLS or SLS. Then the ninth one is foaming booster. While the 10th one is color, and the 11th one is perfume. So these are the basic 11 materials for liquid soap, standard material for liquid soap production. But in some area, let me say with some people, they decided to extract some out of it because with all the ingredients we have listed, each and every one of them has the role they are playing in liquid soap, and it has to be in measurement. If any one of it is too much or lesser in quantity, it may affect the skin, and some it may affect the production at the end of the product. So like nitrosol now, nitrosol assists us in is a thickening agent in soap, and is one of the important materials that has to be present when you want to make a liquid soap. Then followed by the soda ash. Soda ash is a whitening agent that removes stain, and it also is also part of the thickening agents in liquid soap, and it's also is a kind of a foaming booster. Why the caustic soda too? Caustic soda is also a stain remover because it's also stain remover, and it's also a kind of a foaming agent too. Then the fourth one, which is Texapon. Texapon is also a foaming agent in liquid soap production. Also sulfonic acid. It's also a foaming agent and a stain remover. So then also we have the sixth one, which is sodium sulfate. So sodium sulfate too is also a, thickening agent in soap making. STPP, Lore, and likewise Lore too. Lore too is a foaming agent. It assists soap to foam. Likewise, the what do you call it? Foaming booster itself. Then followed by the color and the perfume. Perfume, it's a kind of it has odor to your liquid soap. So that perfume it varies based on the choice. So and likewise the color too. It has color variation. So all these important materials needed in liquid soap. But there are some people of today, Nigeria of today, let me put it in that way. There are some soap in the market where you will see some people, they will just take two or three or maybe four or five materials, mix it together. They believe they've make a soap. Fine, it will foam based on the materials added together. I think there was a time in the market I saw somebody we came to the market in the wheelbarrow, fully loaded with soap materials, and people were rushing to buy because it's very cheap. So people bought it, and the person went away. Only for those people that bought it to be giving testimony that the soap is not it's almost like water. Only God knows what this guy mixed up and sold it for them as a soap. But because people saw it that it's very cheap, and you know Nigeria of today, we are always interested in something that is cheap. We felt if this thing, if you felt something is expensive and you see something that is cheaper, you quickly go for something that is cheaper in the expense of I don't have money. But at the end of the day, you pay for the price. Because by the time something you're supposed to use just a drop and with a foam, you started using a bottle. It's not yet foam to your taste. So what do you gain? So sometimes it's always good to to produce something that is quality rather than quantity. So these are the variation in soap. And these materials, it has to be like I've said, it has to be a measurement. This measurement is very, very important in liquid soap. If this measurement is not well supervised or is not accurate, sometimes it will affect the soap. That's why you see some soap that it will be reacting in the body, in the skin, and there's some that when you use it, your skin will start peeling, and there's some that your nail will start having this type of whistle that usually affect the skin, the nails. There's so many things like that. And you see that some you will see that when you use it to work, some people have a kind of mindset that when they use soap, liquid soap for clothes, that doesn't clean their clothes easily compared to the detergents. No, it depends on the type of liquid soap they bought.
The
When you buy
quality
a
of the
good
liquid soap.
standard liquid soap, the quality of the liquid soap. When you buy a good liquid soap, the quality ones, it should be able to serve all purpose that normal soap serve in your home appliances or in anywhere you make use of. And this soap is something that can be used in various places. Though those if you want to make a liquid soap, the one you want to use in let me say in the clothes that you want to use in your laundries is different from the one you want to use in
the
your car
bathroom.
wash. There are some materials that will be present in that of the car wash that is not necessarily needed in that of laundry.
Okay.
So those things it will. There are some that if you make use of it in the car wash, it will affect the color of the car to be faded off easily. So all those things, people are not paying attention to it. They just write liquid soap, liquid soap, liquid soap.
So, Aja, please hold on. I would like to ask a question because in Nigeria right now, we just have liquid soap being sold to us. Generally, they don't they don't put a special label that this is for the laundry, this is
Exactly.
to wash dishes, or this is for the car. They just sell to us liquid soap. That means it's very wrong. We have to know. Okay, like we have a brand in Nigeria. Is it Morning Fresh or Morning Dew, something like that? Morning Fresh.
Yes.
I think they basically sell liquid soap to wash dishes in the kitchen. In the kitchen. So that one is
Yeah.
tailored made. But aside Morning Fresh brand, I don't think any other brand put any special label or make a tailored made liquid soap. Wow, that's good to know. That's good to know. So liquid soap is not just liquid soap. So we have different types of liquid soap for
Yes.
different purposes. So that's good to know. So for anybody that wants to go into this, I think you can note this thing very well. That means in marketing, if you go into what they call a niche market, like liquid soap for car wash, you can easily make it. If you brand it very well,
Yes.
you advertise it very well. That this liquid soap um is not for dishes in the kitchen, not
Yes.
for laundry. It's just for car
Laundry.
wash. At least you can become a king in that category if you sell it very, very well. Because I believe it's not just about, at times, it's not about what you are selling. Even many multinationals in Nigeria, like all these liver brothers and all that, are into FCMG, um, FMCGs, fast moving consumer goods. What are they selling? Toothpaste, soap, and all these things. You understand? So, some people would be thinking, I can't be selling soap. What do I want to learn liquid soap production for? But my brothers, my sisters, if you can learn it very well, you invest into it, you brand it very well, most especially in a populous country like Nigeria, you will sell like wildfire. You will make your money. So thank you for that. So I want to ask another question. In the process of mixing the chemicals together, is there are there steps that you must follow respectively, like one after the other, that you must not jump or you can't reverse the steps?
Okay. Yes, in liquid soap, we have different different methods, and you still
Okay.
get the same answer. But the one of the key points that we have to just be observant is the nitrosol in the chemical. That nitrosol, it look like this yam flour. This nitrosol, when you mix it, you need to mix it in large quantity of water, because if you reduce the water you are mixing the nitrogen in, it will clot, it will coagulate.
Okay, sorry,
And when
sorry,
this
sorry,
thing
sorry,
coagulate,
sorry,
it will
sorry, man. I
affect, it
want
will
to
form
point
lump.
something out. So please, precautions. If you buy these chemicals in the house, keep them safe somewhere where your daughter will not go and carry nitrosol, because you said it looks like yam flour, and they will not think nitrosol is ilubo.
In the
Go.
environment.
Please, so keep it safe somewhere. I just had to chip that in because you said it looks like yam flour, and I like amala very
Yeah,
well. Come
yeah,
on, lọ
yeah.
fi nitrogen ọ̀rọ̀ àmàlà.
One of the important thing, when I diversified into chemical business, I told my
Yeah.
children it's not the business as usual. So when
Mm,
you see something like, don't just assume it's water.
mm.
So I decided to just label it. When I put sulfonic acid in the cake, I label it as sulfonic acid. When I label formalin, I put it, okay, this is formalin. So you can't just come into my place and just take a cake and drink,
So
and
now,
take
if you
water
put them
and
in
drink. You don't need
in
to add
containers,
water
like a bowl, a big bowl with
cover.
covers, we should label this is elubo, this is nitroso.
No, 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 no. All these are chemicals too. You can't expose them anyhow. It
Okay,
has to be packaged inside the nylon, so
okay,
that it will not be
but it
they
still has
cannot
to be
be
properly
the
labeled.
quality labeled, of course, so that
Okay.
when you bring it in to your house, just let the children know and have a kind of maybe a kind of paint bucket that you put them in and you cover it up there, so that the children will know that this is where our mommy used to put the chemicals. And when you finish using them, those nylons, you have to just dispose them
Dispose them immediately.
properly, especially those that have the babies that can easily pick it up and
Um,
start
and put it
doing
into their
something and start
mouths.
putting it into their mouth. So those
Mm.
things. So let me go back to
What you were saying?
the mixing method. So the mixing method is how to be followed properly, especially the number one, which is the nitroso. That nitroso needs to be mixed inside a large quantity of water. If not, if it form lumps, it will affect the production. You
Mm.
realize that ó máa dí kókó, and moment tó bá ti dí kókó yẹn tó bá ti form lumps, kò ní the quantity will not be as much as expected. So at the end of the day, it will affect your production. If you are selling it, it will affect your gain, because it
Mm.
will affect what you bring out at the end of the day. And on the easiest method I do teach my own customer is that there are some people that will say when you want to mix, as we have about 11 materials, they will ask them to get maybe like 11 bowls, be 11 buckets. You just put everything, soak everything. No, I don't encourage that. When you are mixing, you just need maybe a bowl, a big bowl, a bucket of water, a small bucket, and a kind of baler that you can use in taking water from the tonic stick. So with those ones, you are good to go. You just be mixing it, and I do assist them in labeling it. Number one, number two, number three, number four, number five. So when it comes to number one, after mixing the number one, I assist them in okay, pour soda ash and caustic soda together inside the bowl. Pour water, mix it together, and pour it into that your number one. That one gone. Then take your hexapon, then your sulfonic acid without water, mix it together, pour it there, mix it, then you start stirring it inside the bowl. Everything like that, mixing it together with water. So all other ones can come in different form, but the particular one that you have to pay attention to is that of nitroso. That your nitroso needs to mix inside. For instance, if you want to produce 20 liters of soap, mix that nitroso itself inside it like a 10 liters of water. So when you mix it inside the 10 liters of water, you are good to go. All other ones you are following it. So you have to be mixing it before you pour it into that number one. And liquid soap is very, very interesting, such that when you want to produce it within 10 minutes, you are finished production.
Wow.
And some people do use this for those who that want to use manual. For some people, there are some people that use machine. Inside your washing machine, you can use it as a mixer of your liquid soap, and it also give you something very smooth and very okay. On that one, you don't need to follow any rule. Just be pouring everything one after the other. The washing machine will mix everything for you, and it's going to be superb. Under few minutes, your liquid soap is ready for home use. So this is on that, and it's also economic friendly, because inside when you buy a material of liquid soap of 20 liters, I can assure you that you get like these are 5 liter kegs we are using today. You can get more than 4 kegs inside it, and presently, well, the price of materials just rise up. But before you can, or even presently, you can get like maybe like 8,000 naira chemical for like 20 liters materials, 20 liters liquid soap. And you know how much they're selling just a keg of liquid soap in the market. And some people are selling maybe 2,500, 3,000, 5,000, depending on the area. So now imagine when you have this one at home, using it, or you brand it up, or you use it as maybe a kind of a souvenir. When some people has a party and they just start you up, I will need so number of liquid soap materials just for our party souvenir. You pack it for them. You have a lot of gain in it. So it's, that is another advantage on that. I don't know if there's
Bukilawa
any
and
other area
other
you want me to touch and any question.
Bukilawa, I think you heard that very well. So you can pitch it to your clients to pack it as one of the souvenirs to be distributed. So thank you very much, Madam Mutiat. Then I would like to ask, what causes soap, the liquid soap, to become too watery or too thick? And how can we fix it? Or in
Yeah.
general, let me add
So in the
another
matter of
question to it. What are the common mistakes people make when mixing the soap? what can make the liquid soap to be too watery or to be too thick? And how can we, is there like a resolution, how we can resolve that situation?
Okay. Well, the common mistake people make in liquid soap making is the steps to follow when mixing it. If you follow those steps properly, you get a good result.
Okay.
And one thing is, when you are making a liquid soap, when you buy the material, they may tell you from the market that this production is for 20 liters. And personally, maybe you want to produce a quality material, you can reduce it into maybe like 15 liters. Depend on the caliber of people you want to sell your market for. So that
Okay.
because there are three, maybe there, let me say the characteristics of liquid soap. A good liquid soap must be must be thick, must foam very well, and the odor must be the perfume must be okay. If
Okay.
you are using a liquid soap that is watery, it will make you to use more. You use more of it rather than make it thick, and you just apply it just like a drop, and you are good to go. Look at this brand. Is it what is the name of this product? Is it one of the dishwash materials or liquid detergent? When you liquid soap, when you apply just a dot of it inside the water like this, you are good to go. Money
Mm.
fresh.
Money
You see that
fresher.
they make their product so superb. They make it so superb that it's very thick. When you make just a drop inside the water, you want to wash your plate, you are good to go with it. So depend on the production you want to make and how you want to sell. If you are selling in Ganjo, people will just okay, we want to just market it as cheap as whatever. People produce rubbish, and okay, and based on the type of people they want to supply, that is that. But when you want to produce standard one, you make it have some qualities that will make your product sells well anywhere, and that make it different from other products. That is, it must be thick, then be foaming very well, and also the perfume, the type of perfume you use inside it. So with those ones, if you produce and it's thick, people will buy. Now when you are not producing and you made a mistake, maybe at the end of the day, your soap got watery and you want to rectify it. There's some material, you just rush back to the market, buy some materials from them, and you add it up with it to easily correct that uh, mistake done. Definitely, if it's too watery, definitely you have used the water more than enough. For instance, you want to produce 20 liters material, maybe you have used maybe like 30 liters water. Mistakenly use 30 liters of water. At the end of the day, it will affect your production.
Okay.
It will
Can it
become
be too
watery.
thick? Can the liquid soap be too thick?
It can be too thick, but it depends on. That's why I said depend on the people you are producing it for. If they have specification that okay, the soap I want you to make for me, I want very thick one, and the smell I want it to be okay, and those things. It's good. So if it's thick and it's foamy, it make it more quality.
Hello? We can hear you.
Okay. So it's not it can be too thick based on specification, and this too thick of a thing you are considering. If you are making it for your home use, you consider that okay. For instance, those people are those people that has small children that they just go and pack the liquid soap and be using it. You can't afford to be too thick because these children will just use
They
it
will waste
anyhow.
it. Yeah.
But if it's an adult, they will make it. If it's an adult that can control what you want to use, you can make it as thick as you can. You will know you are in control of it,
Eh,
and
eh,
like that.
Thank
So
you, Alaja. One more question. Um,
mhm.
does it has an expiry date? Like liquid soap will be very potent, maybe for 6 weeks, 6 months. After 6 months, then it's not really good for use again. It might lose some potency. Is there any expiry? duration?
Well, I can say yes, and at the same time, I can say no. The
Okay.
problem with as little as I know in the chemical production is the way you produce your materials, give it more quality.
Okay.
One, I do advise my customers that when you are producing, after the production, you pack it inside the keg, especially those that are using it that has a particular keg that they usually pour it. When you finish particular product, make sure you rinse it clean before you pour another one inside it. But there are some people that will just after the usage of the first product, they'll pour another one without rinsing the keg, without rinsing off the first one they have finished inside the keg
Okay.
before they pour another one into it. That can affect the odor, and it can affect the production. It can give it bad. But apart from that, it's always, if you produce it with good water, it can stay as long as possible. So there are some people that use this preservative in a liquid soap, but I don't always advise people using preservative, especially those liquid soap you are going to use in a kitchen. I don't always, because we use formalin. We use formalin to they use formalin to preserve. So I don't always advise my customer to preserve liquid soap. If you produce it under a good with good water, let me say that you don't need any preservative for your materials you don't need any preservative, and it's going to serve you as long as you can, and it's going to maintain its quality. So that
So
is, but there are some people that do insist that they want preservative. You're good to go.
you,
It's at
you
your
you
own
know,
risk.
if you are doing mass production, at times you think about the shelf life, so that this thing will not go and expire, maybe in either your
Mm.
storeroom or on the shelf. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, Sha.
It doesn't, it
So
doesn't, it
whoever will go
doesn't, it
into
doesn't,
mass production have to look into that, whether to use
mm,
preservative or just to leave
or
it.
not.
But what you are even saying is that if you do quality liquid soap production, the shelf life is almost
That's,
infinity. Okay, that's good
yes.
to know. Is there a major difference in liquid soap and detergent? Aside that, one is powdery, the other one um is
Liquid.
liquid. Is there any major
Yes.
difference? Any major difference rather?
Mm, it's, yes, there are major difference in it, because in liquid in detergents, there are some materials in liquid soap that it's extracted to be used part of materials for detergent.
Okay.
Some materials from the liquid soap extracted to be used for detergent, and why. So meanwhile, there are some people that prefer this detergent over liquid soap because they believe it's whitening up their clothes easily. It's based on the materials used. And if you observe most of the detergents, they are always reacting with the skin
Hmm.
based on
Yes,
because
you are
of
right.
the powerful materials they use in it. It can also happen in liquid soap, but it's always in measurement. Let me say measurement. There are some detergents too that are also body friendly. That is not harsh on the skin. But depend on what they mix together as the detergent. There are some, when people are producing, people don't care about the quality. They just mix with quantity. That okay, when Nigeria is somewhere, is a place whereby you mix anything, people will just say all they're after is it cheap? But if you want to maintain the standard, you are producing for people, and you want that standard to be there, and you want people to know you for your standard. You just have to set that standard, that this standard, I want to be using it. I'm not going back. Even if the production price higher, it only affects the price. It shouldn't affect the quality of what you want to produce. But you see, where some people make mistakes of today is that when they start the production, they start with a very quality product. when the good started selling, they start
Reducing the quality.
start
We
reducing the
experience
quality.
that a lot in
It's not
Nigeria.
too good.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's not too good. But because you see that if you remain that if that quality remain, people will continue to patronize you. They will say, ah, I trust this product, I trust this product, and it will be selling fast.
Even
So those
I've
are
seen
the
that a lot in people who produce bread in Lagos.
yes,
They will
yes,
come out with a
yes.
very good quality. When people start to rushing the brand, then they'll start
Yes, they
dropping
reduce the
the
quality.
quality. Then when people discover, people move away en
Yes,
masse
definitely, definitely.
to a new brand that is now producing quality.
Yes.
I've seen that a lot. Um, One question more before we open the floor to the people, to our people for okay, what are the equipment that we need if you want to go into this if you want to do large scale production of liquid soap? What are the equipment that we need?
Mm, then to start with, because if you are thinking that you want to go into a large production, then you can be considering the mixer. But to start with from a low key, all you have to do instead of thinking of mixer, you can just get a big bowl, a big long turning stick, then certain buckets and the the keg. You want to store those products or the bottles you want to use in packaging. But if it's for home use, all you need to do is just get a big bowl, get your turning stick, water, buckets, then maybe uh, one or two small paint buckets, then your materials, and the keg you want to store it into. So that is that. So depend on the area. If it's for the mass production, it will determine the area you want to go into will determine what are the materials you need. And there
Okay.
are some people that use washing machine to mix. So that one is
Instead of
also
mixer.
another instead of hand mixer. This is a manual mixer. We use washing machine to mix.
Okay. Okay. Can you speak to the business side of this soap making? I know you are more into selling into the sales of the chemicals and training. Yeah, so can you say anything about the business side? How well does it sell in Nigeria, most especially?
Yeah, liquid soap is one of the one of the profitable business in Nigeria. And depend on your area, and depend on your consistency. Because there's one thing about the production is that when you start, the market may not be as fast as expected. But when you stay consistency in it, and people trust you with the quality of what you produce, anyhow, you will sell it, and it's profitable. Because presently in market you see people selling a 5 liter keg of liquid soap. Rather, it depends on your area. Some people buy 2,500, 3,000, 5,000,
My sister, we buy it
and the
4,500.
materials
We buy it
four
4,500.
five.
Yes,
Uh-huh. And this materials
4,500.
you are using, so the materials you are using to produce, you can use materials of like 8,000. And now I imagine when you use the materials of 8,000
8,000
and you
for how many
realize that
liters? For how many liters of liquid soap?
you can get like a like maybe 15 to 20 liters of material of liters.
Okay, 20 liters. Okay,
Yes.
so 20 divided by 5 liters, that would be, I think they even sell it in kegs of 4 liters. They don't sell 5 liters.
It's not that keg. Yes, that keg is not up to 5 liters again, but people don't know.
Yeah, it's about
People don't
4
know that
liters,
keg is not up
thereabout.
to. It's about.
Yes,
Uh,
they sell it for 4,500 naira. So
wow.
that means we can get 5 of that in 20 liters.
Mm, let me say four. Let me say
4
for
of
like
that.
four. If it's big.
Yeah, it's profitable. It's profitable. Yeah. So thank you so much, Alaja Mutiyat. Thank you so much. I want to open the floor now before we play the practical, where you see her mix the chemicals one after the other to get the final production of the liquid soap. So I want to open the floor. If you have if you have any question for her, can you please signify by raising your hands?
Hi, Nii. Hello.
Oh, Mimi, right?
Yeah,
Hello.
sorry, I don't have the hands up
Oh, don't worry, don't
icon.
worry. Just go ahead.
Yeah.
Just go ahead.
So two questions I've got for Mutiat is when you make this liquid soap, where should it be stored? I don't know if you've covered that in the beginning. I joined late. And then how do you need to restructure the chemical formulation so that it doesn't affect people with sensitive skin? Those are the two questions.
No, thank you very much. The first question, when you mix your materials, it is because of the perfume that you have there, so that the odor will not easily escape. It is better to be stored inside something that can be closely, that can be covered tightly. Maybe like this yellow keg or any of the buckets that has a very close cover that can be covered tightly. So it will make it will make the fragrance last longer. That is that. Then two, and where how can we make a soap that can be skin friendly, especially those that have sensitive skin? The materials they sell for you in their the various places, it has measurements. It has measurements, and those if one really go by those measurements they sell for you, I think you are good to go because everything they've considered everything there, except that you there are some materials you can add to it in order to soften some reactions in the chemical. For those that like this, what do you call it? Uh, what do you, let me if I remember the name, I will add it up for you. So if you add that into this into it, it will make it reactions mild in the skin, so it will assist you to be able to use it without any issue. Okay. So if I remember it before the end of the class, before the end of the meeting, I will add it up to it. So I think I've answered that question.
Mimi?
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Okay,
I'm
sure.
content
Okay.
with that. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Any other question, please? Anybody with a question for Alaja Mutiat?
Nee, can you please check the message I sent to the group, please?
Well,
To
I've checked
ping
it
one
already.
of
I'm
them.
attending to it. I'm
Okay,
attending
thank
to
you.
her. Yeah.
Sorry, Nii, me again. One question, please, for Mutiat. So you
Okay.
said store in an airtight, I'll use that word, airtight container. Would you also suggest people storing it away from direct sunlight? I assume that would also be recommended, right? So in a dark,
Yes,
cool place. Okay, all right.
it can be stored in any way. But if the one thing we normally observe is when you store it under the sun, when the chemical is put on those that are selling in the market, if it's under the sun, there is tendency for the sun to affect the quality as time goes on. So it's always better to put it somewhere that is cool and good for storage rather than store it under the sun, so that the quality will still remain, the color will not be faded off, and the sun will not eat up some product away from the material.
Yeah, one last question, bro. Please.
Any other questions, please?
Yeah, sorry, one last question, please.
Okay, go ahead, Austin.
Yeah, sorry. My question is my question goes thus: are we going to as in is there any way in medium of as in helping hands? Are we going to put on any glove or whatever when producing the shows liquid soap? Either
Yeah,
are you there? Are you there?
yes,
Okay,
yes.
okay, yeah,
In production, when you are producing, this
okay.
when you are producing, it's always better to be on to be with those safety goods,
Like,
materials.
okay. All right.
So
Like what?
sometimes people take it for granted.
Okay.
Yeah, you need hand glove, you need nose
Okay.
mask
Okay. Those
when you
two
are
things.
dealing
Okay.
with chemicals. And those materials, those nylons and the bottles you remove those chemicals from, you have to dispose them properly because of the small children we have at home.
Okay.
So those areas are very, very important. And after the whole process, you make sure you wash your hands because there are some of these materials that usually affect the skin.
Okay.
Mm.
And the powder, like this sulfonic acid, if it's found on your skin, it's an acid, as the name implies, it's an acid.
Mm.
If it falls in your body, it will get burned,
Okay.
and that can go a long, it can damage a lot of skin in the body. Likewise, caustic soda too. Caustic soda is also dangerous. It can burn the skin. So when you are using, it's always advisable that you wear your glove and you protect your nose from inhaling those chemicals. And you try to put them in a place whereby everything can be set, so that you not have any cause to pour any chemical pouring away or anything falling down
Mm.
from anywhere unnecessarily. So those things are very, very important.
Okay. Thanks so much, Ma. Please, I have a second question there, please. Are you
Please, I
there?
have question.
I have the second one. Then I'll
Let, let us
please.
to
Okay.
finish his question first, please.
Just please. The question goes thus: like a starter, like a new as a new beginner, like the machine, like how much do you think it costs us, please, to get the machine there? The mixer. Do you have an idea of the mixer?
This
The price?
it varies. It varies.
Okay.
So I can't say now, but I can make inquiries on it.
Okay. Thanks so
But
much, man.
there are
I
some
appreciate
people
it.
that also use washing machine to mix as a
Ah,
mixer too. But beside that,
okay.
but beside that, there is another mixer one can use apart from the washing machine. So I'll find out the price in the market.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Huh? Thanks so much. Yeah. How about you, need, please?
All right.
Yeah.
So the
Hello,
next,
Alaja. Don't define.
go ahead, please.
Yeah, Mimi. The material I said the other time is glycerin. There's this
Yeah.
glycerin that we usually mix into the liquid soap materials that always assisted the skin in order to make it friendly. It's glycerin. So
Thank you so much.
you can request for it. They sell it for you, and you add it your material.
All right, thank you.
You're
Okay,
welcome.
someone is trying to ask a question. You can go ahead, please.
Hello, Alaja.
Yes.
Yes. I want to ask, well done for the for the speech and everything. I'm also into this production, and I used to do it very well. But I still
Okay.
have one question that I used to ask myself: that what makes the difference between our own production and that of Morning Fresh? You can see that Morning Fresh, you will see that it is more lighter, it is transparent, and you just have to use just a drop and you will use it for a long time, unlike the one we used to produce. The one I used to produce, it do form very well also, but I used to compare it with that Morning Fresh. What makes the difference? Definitely there must be something that they are adding to their own that we are not adding. So that's what I want to ask, please.
Yes. When you are producing materials, those materials you are adding up are very materials, and each of the materials we use in liquid soap, each of them has the purpose. There are some that are used for thickening agents, foaming agents. So depend if you produce based on this is their brand. What do we call their brand?
Morning Fresh.
Money fresh. Money fresh.
Yes.
If you want to produce money fresh, that means you are not targeting large. Because when money fresh company will buy in large quantity.
Yes.
They buy the
They
materials in bulk. They buy in bulk. They import
buy
by
in bulk.
themselves.
They buy in bulk, and they have specification. So likewise, you can also try as much as possible to start your own brand by having those specifications and brand very well. When you want to make your soap foam, yeah, we all have, foaming materials. Even
Moremi
you can ask
booster.
for more foaming booster. Not even foaming booster. The foaming booster in chemicals is just some materials mixed. You can buy more of this maybe L'Oreal Texapon to
Okay.
put your foaming of a thing. There are some materials that you buy that will assist your foaming to foam. Will assist your soap to foam very well. You can buy extra from those people you are buying from. Tell them you want to buy extra foaming booster, you want to buy extra L'Oreal, and you see how foaming it will be. And make it thick. So that specification is depend on the material you are buying. You add more materials to it, those,
So
especially those foaming.
what you are trying to point out now is that there is no difference between our formulation and that morning fresh.
There is no big formulation. It's vendor. You can decide to have your own formulation to your taste,
Okay,
and it will be and it will, yeah.
so what you are trying to point out now is that there is no difference between our formulation and that of morning fresh.
There is no difference. There is no difference. If you want to formulate your own based on those characteristics, based on the quality, the morning fresh has, you can also do such.
Okay. And then one
Let me,
one more
Okay.
let me,
question,
okay.
please. One more question, please. Is there any preservative we can use aside of formalin that is better for liquid production? Some are using methylparaben, some are using is it sodium sulfate? Which one can you advise to use as a preservative?
Yeah, my question will go back to you. So why are we preserving this thing? Is it always spoiled, or does it always has any
At
bad?
times, if you keep it at home for a long time, it's I have seen one that turn watery. There is one
Mm,
that has a bad odor after some months that has been stored at home.
something must have gone wrong. Something must
Okay.
have gone wrong. What made me not to believe this thing is I have a sister that came around sometimes ago. When she came, she made that prayer. I make the soap for her, and she traveled back only for her to come back after some months, maybe like 6 months. She came back and the soap is still okay. Everything's still okay. So something must have gone wrong with the production. Something must have gone wrong. And that's why I always emphasize that especially those that store this inside the container you are using, when you finish using it, make sure you rinse it clean before you pour another production. So that with the one for the watery, from the beginning, one thing is you have to be
Yes.
observant. Initially, when you make your liquid soap, you can't judge it. You can't judge the thickness. If it's thick, if you want it to be too very thick, make sure it's extra thick, because by the time you pour perfume, especially the thickness will slim down a bit.
Okay.
You get it? So if it's
Okay.
very, very thick,
Thick.
if it's very, very thick,
Yes.
the
So
tendency that when you pour the perfume, it will balance to your taste. But if you make it
okay.
watery, by the time you pour your
From
perfume,
the start.
it will water. So that
Okay.
thing you have to just also calculate that area very well in order to get it right.
All right. Thank you. Obadeshida, you can go ahead with your question. Bayo.
Thank you. I want to start with appreciation. Thank you so much for actually taking time out to come bless us with your wealth of knowledge. I've been listening carefully, and I love the questions coming through. Number one, I wanted to talk about the business side of these things because for me, in all of these conversations, the only thing I spend a lot of time on is how do we become multimillionaires, with everything we're doing? How do we make money out of this? So coming into this meeting yesterday, I did a lot of research on soap making. There's a lady on I saw yesterday that made $300,000. She was struggling. She was a single mom. She was not doing well. She started this soap making thing, and boom, she turned it into gold at the end of the day. During the course of my research, again, I noticed this Okoya man, Eleganza Group. I realized he's into all this soap making. So the question I kept on asking myself, yesterday was, how do we make so much money out of this thing? What are they doing differently from what we're doing? Because, the question I was hearing earlier on from, I can't remember the person that was asking the question. I could tell she already knows how to make this soap. But what makes it different from Morning Fresh? I heard there's no difference. So we're doing the same thing, but some people are making millions and others are not making the millions. So I'm really, really trying to make sure that we focus our attention. We're laser focused on where can the money come from. One thing I can tell you for free that I saw during the course of my research yesterday was branding. Branding. These guys, the only thing they are doing differently is they're doing this branding of a thing very well. So instead of just posting, making your soap, putting it inside one funny plastic and just putting some funny thing on it, guess what? Some people are actually going all the way to talk to the best of the best graphic designers out there that can help their products to sell. So one thing I must say is branding, branding, branding. It makes a whole lot of difference in terms of how you're able to sell your business. Now to Ali Mutiyat, thank you once again. My question to you is, you've given us the theory, and I also want you to get something back from this thing. I just don't want us to hear from you. Do you have a training class? Because I want you to make money from this thing. I want you to make billions from this thing. Do you have a training class where you sell this, your lovely knowledge? Are you going to be having like a practical course for some of us that wants to take this to the next level? That's my question for you. I yield the floor. Mr. Niyi Ademiju.
Okay. So, Mutiat, you can answer that question.
Yes. Thank you. The first point. It is true. This branding of a thing about the chemical, about the materials, is a very, very important area. You will see some people, and I also, apart from the branding, then the competition in the market. When you are selling a product, your first target shouldn't be the profit making. The first target should be, okay, how do I gain ground? So you reduce the profit margin that you want to make from the materials you are making, you are producing. So by the time you gain ground, you start increasing your price, and at that time people must have clinched with your materials. They must have get loved with it in order. And at the end of the day, even when you increase your price, you will not be able to pull out. They will still, those materials, I love it. I mean, okay, despite the increase in price, we don't mind to buy the materials. We don't mind to use it. They will still be patronizing you. So it's also a very, very powerful area. Yes, I do train people for this training of a thing. And there are some places that do come around, maybe churches, mosques. They have people that want to be trained in so areas. I'll go there, train them. Then but one thing I do encourage people is that when you undergo this training, it's always good for you to practicalize what you have learned and turn it into something meaningful. So branding is also one of the very, very important area that makes product sales much. So
okay, thank you, Alaja Mutiat. Before we play the practical, because we've recorded the practical session already, It's just a 10-minute video. So we are going to be playing it shortly. But before then, Bukola Lawa wrote a question in the chat box. So, Alaja Mutiat, are you listening? What makes some liquid soaps cloudy, while some you can see through? Is caustic soda the only stain remover we can add? Should I go over it again?
No, let me. Yeah, I've got a question.
All right.
There are soap. There are ways to produce a kind of transparent liquid soap. There are methods to produce that, and so there are some materials to be added, and there are some materials to be removed. When you want to produce a kind of a transparent liquid soap, so that is on that. Then the whitening stain remover materials. It's not only the caustic soda that is whitening, that is stain remover. No, you have in soda ash is also one of the stain remover in liquid soap and one of the thickening agents. So it serves two purposes. It removes stain. It's also thickening the materials. It's also a foaming agent too, and it's also removing stain. While the caustic soda does, it's also applied to this sulfonic acid. While sulfonic acid is also a foaming agent, it also removes stain. When you have some àwọn toilet kan tó ti gírun, pour sulfonic acid inside it, you see them whitening kìíní ẹ̀ ó máa shine. So it's also a kind of stain remover níbi aṣọ. So likewise some of the materials like that. So that's why I don't always go by the idea of removing certain materials from it. Some people just mix maybe 2-3 materials together. This is liquid soap. So the quality and the quantity of production really matters in what you want to sell. So can't hear you. Hello?
Oh, sorry, my mic was muted. I said I have another question here from President Mobola. What is wrong with the soap that causes irritation to the skin or to the hands?
Definitely, maybe one of the chemical has problem. Maybe the quantity is not properly measured. Because if the caustic soda in the soap is too much, definitely it will irritate your skin. If the sulfonic acid in the soap is too much, it will irritate your skin. That's why I said all these things it has been measured. But there are some people that will go to a chemical store. You want to produce soap, okay, help me increase this, increase it. At the end of those people that are using it, it will affect their skin. So you can't just you can only vouch for those that buy properly and that produce properly. So those materials sometimes it do happen, especially when you are just buying anyhow material. So that is when those issues comes in. But when you are buying and you are sure of the materials you are buying, I don't think you should have any problem with that.
Okay, thank you, Alaja
Mutiat. Measurement.
So, President Mobola, I hope you got that. So right now I'm going to be sharing my screen. Then I'll play the practical video. Then after that, if we have any question stemming from the practical, then we ask. I'm conscious of time so that we can round off quickly. Thank you.
Here are the materials for liquid soap. We have 11 materials. The first one is nitrosol. So the second one is sodium sulfate. And the third one is caustic soda. Then the fourth one is hexapron. hexaphone. And the fifth one is sulfonic acid, while the sixth one is sodium sulfate. Sodium sulfate. Then while the seventh one is STPP, that is sodium triphosphate. So that is you call it STPP. Then the number 8 one is Laurel. While the ninth one is foaming booster. Then the 11th one is the color. While the 10th one is color, sorry. While the 11th one is the perfume. So we start from the mixture. We start the procedure for the mixture. The first one we start with is the mixing of nitrogen. For you to start, the production we want to make now is for 20 liters of soap. So we start from, you pour 10 liters of water into a big bowl, which can contain 20 liters of production. Then you have another 10 liters inside another bucket, so that in order for you to do the remaining mixture, that's for you to be mixing it. So here we are, we start. Then the first one is the nitrogen. You pour the nitrogen into that 10 liters of water in the bowl. So having done that, then we mix it together till it dissolve. It's important for you to have enough water inside the bowl, because inside that bowl, at least when you are producing 20 liters production, when you are making 20 liters production, you have like 10 liters to start with, mixing the nitrogen in order not to coagulate. Because if you use if water is not enough, there's tendency for that your soap to coagulate, and if it coagulates, the production will be affected. It will not be quick as expected. So you mix it till everything dissolve. So here is our nitrogen. It has been dissolved, done and dusted. The next one we move into is the mixture of soda ash. Pour your soda ash into a small bowl. This is our soda ash. Then alongside with caustic soda. This is our caustic soda, which is number 3. So when you pour them together, then you take part of the 10 liters of water inside the bucket, then you use it to mix it. When you use it to mix it, then you stir it. When you stir it, then you pour it into that number 1. Then you put your nitrogen bowl. You mix your nitrogen the other time. So after that, you rinse it. So that one has been done. You mix it very well. After that, you leave it. You take your hexaphone, which is number 4. You pour that your hexaphone inside the bowl. So they have small bowl. The better you use small bowl, depend on the size you are mixing. So this is hexaphone, then followed by sulfonic acid. You pour the two together, you use to melt each other. So on this one, you don't need to pour water, because if you pour water, it will become unnecessary foaming, because the two you are pouring together, they are both foaming agents. So if you pour water, the foaming will be too much. So this is sulfonic acid and the hexaphone mixing together. Then use your turning stick to mix the two together. So when you mix the two together, then you pour into number 1 in that big bowl where you have poured your nitrogen, soda ash, caustic soda. Now we have poured hexaphone and sulfonic acid. Then you can rinse that bowl in order for you to make use of it in the next stage. So having done that, you mix it very well, and mix it anyhow. You turn it, and you let it blend. So after that, you leave it. You take the next mixture, which is this one is sodium sulfate. This is our sodium sulfate. This is our sodium sulfate. So we pour it into a bowl alongside with STPP. This is, I said, our sodium triphosphate. So sodium triphosphate. You mix it together. That one you take part of the water inside this bucket, which is your extra water that you are using for the mixture. Pour it, stir it. After stirring it like this, then you mix it, you pour it into the main production, which is inside the big bowl. After that, you mix it together. Make sure you mix it very well. Having done that, you leave it. Go to the next stage, which is our L'Oreal. Some people call it SLS. That is the abbreviation. So this is our L'Oreal. You pour it into a bowl, and you also mix it with water. You mix it with water, then you pour it into the main one in the bowl. So after that, you stir it, you mix the whole thing very well. So after that mixture, next one is number 9, which is the foaming booster. That foaming booster is in form of liquid already. So all you need to do is to pour it directly into the mixture. So you pour it, then mix it together. So now we have done the mixture of number 1 to 9. So this is our production now. Then the next one we move into is the color. Now the color we want to use here is color green. Then you pour your color into a bowl. Pour your color into a bowl, and you mix it with water. So mix it with water, then pour it there, then turn to color green. Just color green. Mix it very well. So this is what it gives us after the mixing. So invariably the soap is ready. So what remains now is our perfume, or the perfume. So this is the soap just mixed. So the next one here is our perfume. For the perfume, so this is our perfume. Pour it into it. After that, stir it. So that is the end of our soap. Soap is ready for home use. So within 10 minutes, the soap is ready. So this is
10 liters of soup. So thank you. God bless you. Until next time. Yeah.
Okay. So I assume there is no question. So thank you everyone for attending this session. So the video will be made available on the practical video. We've made available for everyone to see. Then we can keep the conversation going on the platform. So in our midlife mastery training series, the next training we are going to be having is disinfectant production. Disinfectant production, the Izal and Dettol type of disinfectant. It should be next week, Sunday, actually, but I'm not sure yet if that will be coming up next week, Sunday, because we have to prepare very well before we bring up the training. So thank you, everybody. God bless you. Have a lovely Sunday evening. And Presido, Mobola, is there anything you'd like to say before we go? Hello,
Mambala don't enter
No,
Zoza room.
no, no, you said it. You said it all. Just to say thank you to our trainer, Alaja Mutiyat. Thank you so much that we could you yield to us. We really appreciate it. Thank you and God bless.
Okay. So thank you all for coming out this evening for this training. God bless you.
Thank
Bye.
you, Ani. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.